Howdy, friend. Spitz here, and this is Feed Bandit, the Texas First Outdoors podcast. If you could take a time machine back 150 years and stand in the middle of the tall grass prairies of North Texas, you would see a world that looked like a green ocean. And in the spring, as the sun began to warm the soil, that ocean would fill with a sound so strange you might think it was coming from a ship. It is a deep, hollow, booming sound that can carry for over a mile across the flat ground. That is the call of the greater prairie-chicken. This is a bird that belongs to the old history of our land, a true native of the wide-open grasslands. They are medium-sized birds with beautiful barred feathers and a spirit that is as wild as the Texas wind. Today we are going to dive deep into the world of the prairie-chicken. We will talk about their amazing spring dances, why their numbers have dropped so low over the years, and the incredible fight that Texas landowners are putting up to save them from disappearing forever. Let's get into it. The greater prairie-chicken is famous for what it does on its booming grounds, which folks also call a lek. Every spring, the male birds gather on a low hill where the grass is short to show off for the hens. It is one of the most amazing shows in all of nature. The males stomp their feet so fast it sounds like a drum roll, they spread their tail feathers like a fan, and they inflate big orange skin sacs on the sides of their neck. When those sacs deflate, they make that famous booming sound. They will fight each other, jumping into the air and flashing their feathers to see who is the king of the hill. They are incredibly tough birds that can handle the freezing winter blizzards and the scorching summer heat of the plains. But they have one major weakness. They need massive, unbroken expanses of native grass to live. They cannot survive in places where the land has been split up by roads, houses, or big fields of crops. Because we have changed the prairies so much, these beautiful birds have been pushed into just a few small corners of our state, making them one of the rarest treasures in the Texas outdoors. Let's talk about the technical tips for understanding and helping protect these birds on our plains. My first big tip is to learn how to identify their specific habitat. Prairie chickens need a mix of tall grass to hide their nests and short grass for their spring dancing grounds. If you have a ranch with native grasses like big blue stem or Indian grass, you have the foundation of what they need. Avoid overgrazing your pastures so the birds always have cover to hide from hawks and coyotes. My second tip is to use binoculars to look for leks in the early spring. Get out before daylight in March or April and just listen for that low booming sound. Once you locate the direction, use your glass to scan the low ridges. Watching them dance through the morning mist is an experience that will fill your heart with pure wonder. My third tip is to manage the brush. While prairie chickens like a few small bushes for shade, if mesquite or cedar trees take over a grassland, the birds will leave. They are terrified of tall trees because that is where hawks and owls sit to hunt them. Keeping your prairies clear of invasive trees is a great way to keep the ground safe for them. My fourth tip is to work with conservation groups like the Nature Conservancy or Texas Parks and Wildlife. There are special programs that offer advice and funding to ranchers who want to fix their land for prairie chickens. You can learn how to use rotational grazing to create the perfect patchwork of grass that these birds need to raise their chicks successfully. We care about the greater prairie chicken because they are part of the original identity of Texas. They are a living link to the days of the bison and the old frontier. Preserving the tradition of the outdoors means looking after the non-game birds just as much as the deer or the ducks. Every creature has its place in the grand design of our state. Protecting the legacy means being a proud steward of the grass. When a rancher takes care of his soil and keeps his prairie healthy, he isn't just helping his cattle. He is keeping the song of the prairie chicken alive for the future. It takes hard work and a love for the land that goes beyond dollars and cents, but that is exactly what the independent Texian spirit is all about. We don't want the music of the plains to fall silent on our watch. Protect the grass and listen for the boom. So what do you think of that? Are we right on target, or did we totally miss the boat on that one? Email us at howdy@feedbandit.com and let us know either way. And don't forget to check us out at feedbandit.com and grab some gear to show off your Texas first outdoors pride. Preserve the tradition. Protect the legacy. And remember, always support your local feed store. If you're there for them, they'll be there for you when you need them the most out in the field. Stand tall, fellow Texian. We'll talk soon.